And now we move to our next segment, and this indeed is my most favorite segment, and that is the Android Journey Story. And today we have our friend with us, Doug Camren. Doug, welcome again, and we are ready to hear your Android Journey story.
Awesome, thank you. So, much like almost every VI in this lovely continent, I was initially introduced into iOS as being the most accessible, in quotations, device out there. Well, I got tired of that in about 2013, 2014, and switched over to the Samsung. I think that was the Galaxy S5 when it first released, running the awesome version of KitKat, which still to this day makes me hungry. But basically, from that point forward, I've been obsessed with Android because it's completely adjustable to whatever I want. And I've found it to be more accessible in most areas than Apple's ecosystem. So, like, whether you're using different applications or um, just simply want to connect with, say, a smartwatch, you don't have to now rely on the iPhone. Unfortunately, in Canada, it's more recognized that the iPhone is the accessible route. And, well, I skew that because I've gone from the S5 up to the Note 5 with Samsung. And I've even tested out the BlackBerry Priv when it first came out, which was running either Android 5 or 6 with the 6-inch screen as slide out keyboard, which to this day I still wish I could have because it was amazing to type on. After that, I ended up, due to necessity, fell back into the Apple ecosystem where I still was not happy. So I routed back into Samsung and grabbed the Note 9 when it came out. Loved that phone, but there was issues with the camera, which would cause the stupid thing to vibrate and nobody would warranty it. Now I'm running on a Pixel and living in the pure Google ecosystem, and I definitely prefer it. It's more what I would need in a phone. Even though having the SD card ability would be nice, I don't find it a necessity anymore. Basically, I've hit that point where I despise the Apple ecosystem and will promote Android as far as I can, whether it's to people who are newly visually impaired or through the website that I'm working on as a resource guide. Android is probably just the better system to go with because it's not only accessible, but it's affordable. And for many people in the vision loss world in North America, especially, affordability is a huge consideration when going to a phone because not everybody can afford the $600 up front for an iPhone. So I look at it for me going, Android's both everything I need. I can customize it to absolutely no end, but it's also accessible and it's insanely affordable. So moving through the world of Android has been a bit of an interesting one because we also don't have some of the same apps that I was used to on iOS. It took apps like KNFB Reader a while to merge into the Android ecosystem. We really didn't have amazing GPS apps when I first moved over that were easily locatable. I had to hunt. I had to rely on Google, which at the time was the best thing around for me. But since then, I've found, oddly enough, a fairly simple app, which is Get There, which does GPS pretty much all over the world, running off of the old school platform of MapQuest. So when you look at, say, iOS, the biggest push right now is Blind Square. They brag about having the intent to move to Android. I'm kind of glad they aren't, because there's really no benefit to their particular application. Given the fact that Android has so many more GPS applications that are completely accessible out of the box, I've actually encountered a number of situations where the Android application is in some cases more accessible than an iOS counterpart. So the longer I go working within the Android ecosystem, the more I find new features, new abilities, and in some cases, new toys to test out and play with, because, it's just a bigger platform. And that was actually part of the reasoning behind me going and getting an Android watch used to test out, and realized, hey, this is amazing. I love it. Let's look at getting a better one in the next few months. That way I can, demo a different version of Android Wear, a newer device, check out newer features. Or in some cases, I've been watching for an Android watch that runs full stock Android. So for me, it's just the platform is better. It's more sophisticated and it's more adaptable. Yeah, that's basically my adventures in the Android world.
Hey, dog, you know what? You should be my assistant. I am the Android evangelist, and I can't, I don't see anyone more passionate about Android than you. Absolutely, there's no reason why you shouldn't be my assistant in trying to convert the unsaved.
Well, I try, because
Well,
it's I'm even looking at getting like Chromebooks and doing what I can to basically move away from Windows, just because the ecosystem is better.
that's right. And that's really interesting. You mentioned some of the things there. You had to go back to the Fruitvale land for a little bit and all of that, and then back again. And then, of course, you mentioned that idea about the SD card not being present on the Google Pixel. And, I happen to be one of those that kind of bemoan the lack of the SD card. And I know a lot of people have kind of thought that I was crazy, cuckoo, for wanting an SD card. But for me, though, one of the things that I like about having an SD card there is that ability to store things that I wouldn't necessarily want to be storing on my internal storage on my phone. So therefore, having that access to an SD card is a great thing. But well, we get used to it, don't we? Get
Exactly.
used
Like,
to not having it. Yeah.
I kind of just decided, pay for extra storage on Google Drive
Yeah.
and basically hot swap. So keeping, if it's something like documents, well, that can stay in my Google Drive. There's no need for it to be on my hard storage.
Thank you so much, Doc. As I always say, this is my most favorite part of the podcast, and that's the Android journey story. And we truly appreciate you coming out to tell your story, and hopefully it inspires someone else to come on to Android. And now that you are the official assistant of the Android evangelist.
That sounds good to me.
Thank you so much for that wonderful Android journey story, Doug. And we encourage you guys to also send in your recordings so you could come on live like Doug has. And we always want to hear those stories from you guys. And now we are about to conclude our episode, and we would like to have you guys know how to get hold of us. And so, Austin, would you give our friends a way of contacting us and all that info that they need?
So to contact us, they can to listen to our podcast episodes and to read guides that we have published. They can visit us on our website blindandroidusers.com. They can view our YouTube channel. There are lots of videos there, over 200 videos of podcasts, short segments of the shows, some extra contents, and there are more coming. So you can view that. You can subscribe to our mailing list by sending in an email to blind Android users plus subscribe at groups.io. If you have any questions regarding the podcast or any comments, feedback, or you want to come in live or anything, you can contact us by sending in an email to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. The links to join our Telegram group and follow us on Twitter and join the club where we are going to have the CSR Q&A in some days announced on the mailing list. We will have that. So to join us there, please read the show notes, and you should read the show notes because a lot of information is given there in the show notes, lots of links and other things. So that is it from us this week, and I hope our crew members are back next week.
Thank you so much, Austin. And to you listeners out there, we say adios. Goodbye.